Welcome to Fitbyfood, where we outsmart binge eating without restriction. In this video, I will talk about our self-image. Our self-image, like think of that word for a second. The image we have, our internal image, when it comes to ourself. So this is not just like our identifications with our preferences. Maybe we identify with a person who loves the sun, or we identify as a person who loves pets. Like this goes on top of that. This is like the idea of who we are. It's our images that we store by memories from our past experiences. And this happens during our social conditioning. So when we are shaped to be who we are today, to fit into society in the way that we do, and the social conditioning happens from when we were born to up until this point, to your however old you are. It keeps on happening. And it's the disciplinary system that happens to us when we grow up to fit into society. So we need to learn the social rules in order to not be too far off the status quo. We need to civilize ourselves to fit in. I have a masterclass on this topic called Understanding Social Conditioning, which is the formation of who we are. So the self-image gets stored by our past experiences. So every time you learn something that you think is you, because the main thing of growing up is learning who you are so that you can fit into society in a way that's appropriate for you. And with every experience that we have, the experiences that shape us, we have stronger associations too. So the special past experiences that we really can recall, mainly we recall them so strongly because they have shaped us in a way. Maybe you can recall a memory of when you were at camp and a girl said to you that your arms are weird, and that became a strong memory for you. Maybe you realized, it just awoke this concept of, oh, maybe my arms are a bit weird. And then you keep on thinking that maybe it is like that. And then you keep on looking outside if it's true for someone else. And it becomes a complex. It's stored in your self-image. The more and more proof you find, the proof that you perceive to be approval or like a validation of the idea that your arms are weird, you try to see it outside yourself. And when you try and see it, you will find evidence. And the evidence might not even be in the reality, but you might project the idea. So the situation with the camp, the girl that got told that her arms are weird, she might get so shocked by this that it shapes her. It shapes her idea of herself, because she's trying to find out who she is compared to everyone around her. So this particular scenario with the girl at the camp gets stored very consciously, because it awoke a lot of memories. And the more emotions a memory has, the stronger it will feel when you are trying to recall the memory. And it gets stored with your image of yourself. If this memory is never questioned by an adult brain, you will believe that this is the truth. This child that experienced the girl telling her that her arms are weird, if she never looks at this and sees that maybe the girl was just trying to be mean to her and there's nothing of truth in that saying, in that phrase, then she will believe that this is forever the truth. And that image gets stored inside the person, and they will look outside to see if this is true. They will put a filter on top of their experience to see, is this truth? Because if it is true for the child, then she must cover it. She believes it's not true. She believes that she must cover it. So she must cover it because the child's main concern is fitting into the tribe for her safety. So then if it is true that her arms are strange, then she wants to hide it because she don't want the group, the tribe, to tell her that her arms are weird, because then she might get frozen out of the group. And that equals death to a child who just wants to be accepted. So she tries to look outside to see if this is true for anyone else. And then this becomes kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And maybe she takes someone's innocent comment in the future for also being a comment about her arms when it has nothing to do with it. And this is a concept called projection, where we look outside and project something that we believe deep inside because we want to get faced with our inner limitations. It's the psyche's protection mechanism and a coping mechanism to strive for more wholeness. So that girl might believe that her arms are weird still, even to this day. If she's an adult now, and maybe she's 40 years old, and she still thinks that her arms are strange. She never questioned it. Her child mind never thought, maybe it doesn't have to do with me, maybe it has to do with that girl. If she never questions it, it will live on as a truth. And this is where our self-image needs to be looked at, because it's not our past experience. We evolve with time, and that means that our self-image should also evolve with time. We're not the same person that we were maybe when we were 15. We need to constantly keep evolving our self-image. If you identify with someone that is very sensitive and someone that is scared of the world, if you have these beliefs that's very much in line with who you were when you were a teenager or a child, it's not serving you at this present moment. And most likely it's an old self-image that you need to look at. What we are interested in, not just the who you think you are when you are with other people, but who does your inner critic tell you that you are. And the inner critic is an archetype of our internal narrative telling us bad things, negative things, in order to really protect us. It's the dysfunctional inner protector. The real focus here for the inner critic is to protect you from being frozen outside the group. It's the byproduct of shame. It's the byproduct of having shame be the glue that makes a individual try to fit into society. If you go outside the social rules, people look at you funny, or they tell you weird things, they bully you. Studies tell us that shame is a feeling that we fear more than death. We're so scared of shame that we rather die. This is crazy, but it's true. It's true. More people are scared of talking in public than of anything else. And this is because we don't want to trip on our words and be ashamed in front of the tribe. So it's a very real thing when it comes to trying to protect us from going outside the box. And this is where the inner critic has gone a bit from the real aim, trying to keep us protected. It's kind of like it's attacking ourselves in order to make us fit into the line. You can try to play a bit with your own image, your own self-image, especially when it comes to your body. So I would invite you to try to do this exercise. Close your eyes and imagine, what do you fear that people will notice about your body? Just sit with that question. And if you get an image of your body and what you are afraid of that they will see, it's most likely very exaggerated. And especially for someone that has problems with food, we have a very distorted self-image because we use the self-image, the fear of looking a certain way, as our fuel to not overeat. And this is where our idea of the self, of our essence, becomes very muddled. And it can become very dangerous. If you want to take this exercise a bit deeper, then you could even try to draw out a picture of how you think that your body looks. What are you scared of that people will see when it comes to your body? What do you want to hide? This is a question that's it can have a lot of weight to it and can awake a lot of fear. But just do this by yourself, no pressure. Just start to inquire, be a bit curious. Starting to understand this is where you notice where your mind and body is a bit disconnected. Because what's happening in reality is your mind is putting a filter on top of your relationship to how you view your body. And when the mind uses a distorted body image to keep you in line, to try to control your eating patterns, it's not based in reality. So I will make more videos on self-image. It's an important topic. To shift this, we need awareness. We need to notice when it's reality and when it's imagination, when it's our fearful inner critic telling us something that's not based in reality. And if this has happened for a long period of time, it's not going to shift overnight. So we need awareness. So thank you for watching, and remember, it is possible to get fit by food.